Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Cardano. Before we jump into the price action though, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel or you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below in the comments section. So basically within this count, we've been looking at it in a few ways. I still don't quite trust this move to the upside, and we will go over why within the video. So basically we can argue that we've had a completed move into this high point here, and potentially this is just actually setting up for a corrective structure to push us down towards this yellow box area here of this 30 cent 43 to this 26.52. So it is possible that we could actually look to break down at some point from this move that we have here and look to actually break down and potentially come and test some of these fourth waves, or alternatively retrace into this box zone. So let's talk about this upper end here, because this is where it gets a bit complicated. So we can argue we've got a completed move into here, and basically the subwaves for that would be looking at it like this, where we actually complete into this high point here, and then we have this as a corrective structure as an A, B, C to the downside. I was looking at the potential of it becoming a 5-wave move, but we've come up too high now. We've crossed the high point again. So this has to be just a corrective structure within here. So that's basically a flat correction. So this either means that this is going to continue to the upside, and this is an A, B, and a C, or 1, 2, and we're looking for a third. Or alternatively, we are creating another corrective structure to the upside. We're going to take this A wave high, and then we're going to push down in a C wave. So these are the things that I'm looking out for. These B waves are phonies, and often they make you believe that you are going into another trending move, and then they break down. So we just need to watch this area. So we're going to be talking about that potential for that flat correction. I'm actually going to just turn this off for the second and remove all this other stuff off the screen. So focusing on this move here, there is the potential that we have a flat, like I said, and basically within this move we could be looking at this as an A wave, and the potential rejection zone for this, it would actually be this area shown here, this 40 cent 39 to this 38.72. This would be a zone we'd actually look for a correction from, basically. So I've also got these two trend lines drawn on here. So one is a channel based off of these bottom lows and projected to the top, and the other is just off of these tops here. So we can see that there is a bit of confluence within this zone, particularly on that 39.72 area. So it is possible we could actually look to potentially move up into this and then face a rejection. However, for as long as we hold this low point here of this 34.71, we have another option which is more bullish. So make sure you stay tuned to see that. So basically within this structure, we'd be looking at it slightly different, as this is a WXY, so basically a zigzag up, and then looking for the potential of a double zigzag. So the 1-to-1 of this W wave would actually bring us here to this 39.83. Once again, it's close on that 39.72, which is also on that right on that channel line. So there's a little bit of confluence within this. Obviously, this can change as the move develops, but the 1-to-1 of this A wave would actually only bring us up to this 39.41. So this gives us a little bit of a zone that we could actually potentially target out. So we're going to go over what we need to be careful of if we're looking at this as a corrective structure. But basically, if we face rejection in this zone and we start to move down again, it's possible that we could have a flat correction. So the typical target area for that flat would be this actual 34.84 to this 33.41 as a flat correction. This the idea that I'm looking at within here is that this can either be a corrective structure part of some kind of other correction up here, where we get this then as then this is an A, a B, and we push up for a C, or alternatively, this could be the A wave of a deeper move to the downside. So what that means is basically from here, we'd look at this as an A, we'd come back up, potentially get rejected, and then look to push down again for a C wave to the downside, and then potentially look to target out, like I said, some of these fourth waves, or alternatively this yellow box area. So we need a bit more information before we have that clarity within this move, because the problem is within this, we can also look at this in the form of the fact that we could actually be forming a bigger move here. So talking about this being a 5-wave move, we've actually come back down and found support in that typical retracement zone for a B wave or wave 2. So I'm also just tracking this on the sideline. This is a more bullish stance where we could actually be looking at this extending even further to the upside here. I don't think that it's the most probable count, but nevertheless it is still viable. So the way that we would be looking at this count rather is that potentially we have this as a 1, 2, up into as high as a 3 or 4, and we're looking for that 5th wave to the upside. So invalidation of this 5th wave would come by crossing this 3610. Moving past this 3610 would invalidate this push up in an additional 5th, and that would basically invalidate this whole move that I have played here. So we can count this like this though. We can count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if we do count it like that, it's not my preferred count on it, but we can count it like that. So if we do actually move down into this support zone that we have here, there is still the potential to rally from that point. Though as soon as we lose this 34.69, basically this idea here is invalidated, and we'd have to treat this just as a corrective structure up and then looking for that lower low. So like I said, we do have potential that could then form a B wave here, and then we could still look for that potential to push up. But if we take this low of this 32.37 and then finally this 30.75, effectively what I'd be looking for is a retest of this box and potentially this channel line. So that's just something that we could actually look to retest if we do break down further. So within this move, it would only really get confirmed by moving up past this 46.34, and that would be looking for a bigger 5-wave move here. So basically what we'd be looking for within this is either to push up into this zone for this 5th wave and then look for a retracement and then look to push up again, or alternatively, if we were to, like we were saying, if we want to count it into there, we'd be looking at this potentially as an A, a B, and a C to the downside. So we would want to face rejection basically in this zone here of the, let's zoom in here a little bit more so we can see the numbers nicely. So between this 50%, which is 38 cent, and this 38.53, that would be a zone we'd look for that rejection and then actually look to break down again if we're looking for a deeper move here. So if we hold this box, we have potential of a bullish move here, and like in that case what we'd be looking for is this potentially as a wave 1 and a 2, and that would adjust this target slightly for where we were looking at for this as an impulsive move. But basically if we did complete a move like that, then we would be looking to potentially target out this 4370 area as a impulsive move. So this is just something that we need to be aware of is possible. So if we do actually start to get some legs here and start to extend out here, it is possible that we could see something like this play out. But like I wouldn't get even off the current structure, if we want to say that we've completed here, you would have to move above this 44.69 to confirm this impulse. Otherwise, it could literally just be an A, B, and a C, and then we look to break down. So we just need to give it a bit more time and see how we go on. So we've got these little price points here. If we manage to hold this area of this 37 cent, it's possible we could move up here for this 5th wave to this 40 cent and between this 39.36. That would be a typical zone. If there is further extension here in the, like we were going over in the 5-wave move, then obviously that could go a little bit higher. So if you need to check that, go back in the video and have a look at it. But there is potential that we could see a little bit more extension in here. So the more bearish way of looking at this whole move, and basically that would be, and I talked about this a while back, is basically looking at this move rather than as a complete impulse, but rather having it as we have a 5-wave move with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up into this high. This is a potential connector wave, and then another potential 5-wave move, but here is a diagonal. So this is still also possible. We are looking at this. The only thing I don't like about it is this middle 3rd wave, but you can potentially count it as an ABC if you take this this big wick down here and then use that, and then basically it would have completed with a diagonal in the end here. So it would be A, B, C up, and then this is also now a zigzag to the downside. So we're talking about this potential of finding support above this wave 2. So what we'd be looking for in this effectively is much of the same thing. We'd be looking for a zigzag. So either, like I said, we can either count this as potentially completed into here, and then we're going to form this this is an A, B, and C to the downside. So this is our typical rejection area, this 38.52 to this 38 cent zone that we talked about. If we do move down, and then basically we just form another 5-wave move to the upside here, that fails to reach a 1.618, then it is possible that this whole thing just becomes an A, a B, and a C, and that could complete this diagonal pattern, and then it could actually look to break down from there. So we just need to be a little bit careful with this structure at the moment. There is potential for extension. There is also the potential this just becomes a corrective move and then breaks these lows and actually heads down to that target zone we talked about. You know, there's a few things that can happen here. So if we fail to break this high point, this 38.95, it's possible we could look to find support in here. If we do find support within this box area, then basically what we'd be looking for is that C wave to the upside. And then it would become important depending on where we actually end up within this retracement, because basically if we were to come back down to this 0.618, for instance, let's say we come and we retest these highs here, then a 1-to-1 would take us up to this 40 cent 51. So we would only, if we do make this move here, we'd only get confirmation of an impulse by pushing back above this 43.50. So we'd have to be careful within this, because this could either, like I said, either this could be a diagonal completed, in which case that would mean that we're going to have a deeper retracement. And if this is a diagonal, if this is the actual case here, so this is, I mean, it's a bit speculative, this count, to be honest with you, but this is still looking for that potential of having a fourth wave as a diagonal, and it isn't invalidated yet. So, you know, it is possible we could still see this play out as an expanding diagonal where this becomes a B, and a C. And then actually what we do is we drop down one more time for another 5th wave to the downside. So we need to just bear in mind that this is possible. If we actually start to break down here, we lose this support zone and we lose this low of this 23.92, then effectively what we'd be looking for is a much bigger move here. And like I said, it's not confirmed yet, but this is one of the options that I'm still tracking. If we do break down from this point, from this trend line, let's say, we would have to move down past 21 cent 57, otherwise it wouldn't be a valid diagonal. That would be a minimum requirement for this 5th wave, would be to move past this 21.57. So as at a maximum, probably towards this 1618, 14 cent, but there isn't really a guideline. It just has to be longer than this wave 3. So it could literally just cross this wave 1 if that does play out, so this 1-to-1 rather, or alternatively we could actually push much deeper within this. So we just need to be a bit careful with how this move plays out. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens after this move completes. If we do look to extend up, obviously that then would invalidate this option by crossing this point here of it's actually the top one here, this 43.78. If we move past that, then this basically invalidates, but it doesn't mean that we can't go lower, because we can still look at this potentially as a corrective structure. We would just have to see how high we come. Basically this red box area here is another area we could look to get rejected of, and that would be just looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then looking for that as a B wave to the upside, and looking for a C wave down. So there's a couple of ways of looking at this, but there is potentially more downside to come here. So we need to invalidate some of these areas to give us a bit more clarity within the structure. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button. If you enjoyed the video and it was your first time watching Crypto Rosetta, why not hit that subscribe button for regular updates on these coins. Also, why not leave us some feedback down below? Let us know if you're new. Always happy to hear from you guys. And in the description below, you'll also find a link to the Discord, why not come join us there? It's free to join. Once you're in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. And yeah, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Take care out there.